If you look at the evolutionary dimension of life upon this planet, why a human being is dominating this world, though physically we are weaker than many other creatures on the planet, is simply because in some way we have become more competent than others. So the competence of being human is greatly reduced when there is no clear distinction between what is memory, what is imagination, what is sleep, what is wakefulness. There are 5 major points of receptivity in one's mind. These are centers of memory, centers of imagination, centers of right perception, centers of perversion, and centers of sleep. If you practice classical yoga, these 5 dimensions will be distinctly separate in your experience. If it is not separate, what happens to you is, when you want to remember something, your imagination plays havoc with your memory. When you want to imagine something, your memory will constrain you from really proper dimension of imagination. When you want to sleep, you will have dreams. When you want to be awake, you will fall asleep. This causes a whole lot of confusion and inefficiency of life. I'm not talking about you being efficient in your profession or in your office or wherever else. That also, yes, in that way also it manifests, but more than that, inefficiency of life. When I say inefficiency of life, this life will not function with the effervescence and exuberance and exploration that life is, that it can explore many dimensions within itself. This possibility is greatly reduced simply because this mix-up has happened in people's experience of life. Classical yoga is very, very focused on separating these things. If you separate these things, you can become what is called as an Avdhani. In ancient times, there were many people, today there are a few. Some of them are called Avdhanis, which means they have 8 types, 8 capabilities. That is, at a single moment, at a given moment, they can perform 8 different actions. Like they can compose poetry, at the same time, they can do a very complex mathematical problem, at the same time, they can smell perfumes and decide which is which, at the same time, they can taste many things and say whatever they have to say about it, at the same time, they can do many things like concerning with all the 5 senses of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting and touching. Many actions they can perform at the same given time. 8 type of actions, if you can perform, you are called an Ashtavadhani. If you can perform 10 types of actions, you are called a Dashavadhani. If you can do 100 types of actions, you're called a Shatavadhani. If you can do 1,000 types of actions, you're called a Sahasravadhani. Sahasravadhanis have been very, very rare. People say that Agastya Muni was a Sahasravadhani, that means he could do 1,008 things at the same time.